Let's stop talking about Boston Bruins Florida Panthers Game 5, please, because, oh my God. And let's focus on something else that brings me so much happiness. Pittsburgh. I lied when I said they bring me happiness. Hello, Sin. In terms of the team, this is what we are looking like. This is our rotation. Actually, let's go from the other spot because then you can see potential. So, especially too, this way I can kind of tell you guys what we're going to do scouting wise. So, at catcher, Darren McCauley is still our guy for now because our other guy left. We could use another catcher. We got a couple guys hanging around. It's not great. First base, Juan Guerrero's back. Vince Messer's back. So we really do not need a project first baseman, especially because we picked up Henry Sixto late in the last draft, even though I don't think he'll ever make it. He's probably another Pablo Ramirez, let's be honest. Second base, Andy Holland. I mean, we could kind of use somebody maybe a little bit better, possibly, potentially. It's not like the biggest need in the world. But again, Holland dropping from a B potential to a C potential sucks. Third base, Ricky Gutierrez. He's the man. If he leaves, I'm boned. So maybe we look at third baseman. Mr. George Freitas is our new starting shortstop. So we definitely have nothing to worry about there. We got a couple guys in the system that could be depth. But yeah, Freitas is our man. In left, Ruben Ott and Alberto Del Villar. Can you please, for the love of criminy, go up to at least a C potential? Until he does, left field's a bit concerning. A little bit. Center field, Lewis Courtney's still there. We drafted Tim Coe last year. We could still probably use another outfielder, given that Lewis Courtney's 30. And then Charles Rivas is pretty much the starter in right because David Sanchez has regressed. So yeah, outfield's kind of a decent little need. And then pitching staff-wise, it's still not the strongest it's ever been, but like we got Riley in the system, Dyer, Carlson, might not need the biggest emphasis on starters this year. And then reliever-wise, we're still looking pretty strong, but our relievers are getting a little bit old. Some of them. So again, could look at relievers. We could, but the bullpen's still pretty strong, all things considered. We did lose at least one dude to waivers. It was a reliever. It's not going to tell me what happened. Really, it's not going to tell me who got claimed on waivers? We lost Strickland, and then I think there was somebody else, another reliever, that we might have lost. But yeah, apparently it is not going to tell me what happened. So that sucks. But yeah, so we did lose a guy on waivers. In terms of yield, top prospect list, Mr. Freitas is the second-ranked prospect in baseball entering the season. Elmer Perez, who we could have drafted 5th overall but did not, starts off as a top 4 prospect for the Astros. Let's see that kid's going for Seattle. I did. It's crazy that we just went from undrafted to doing what he's doing. Our 5th round pick, though, from last year, Grant Riley, does debut at number 26 on the list, and he is the only other guy. So, yeah, it's a little bit concerning. But it is a brand new season. We got very close to making the playoffs last year. Again, just missing out at the end of the year, so I am going to put the over-under at 80.5 wins for the prediction in chat, and we'll see what happens. Just making sure everything's set up here properly. Just making sure. All right, cool. We're good. Let's see what happens this year. Let's see. Oh boy, our bonus allotment's only 8 million. Pick number 15. 15, 51, 74. Ugh. Okay. Well, let's start off by getting some general information on some catchers, because I do probably view that as our biggest position of need at the moment. Not bad. 5-3 to start the year. It's early, though. It's early. All right, let's go international catchers. And let's start taking a look. Okay, there is not a single... Mills, I am sad, too. What's up? There is not a single catcher projected to go in the first round. Is there anybody with a crazy potential range? Nope. That's not good. I mean, Richard Key is international, so he'll be scouted out a little bit more.
Here comes a pizza. See it?
53 months from Robbie. 53 months. What's up, buddy? Thank you for the resub, for still supporting my face. How the heck are you tonight? Let's hope that resub brings us a little bit of luck here, huh? Okay, if we keep this up, we're going to make the playoffs. 9-5. Kick off the season. Oh, Richard Key is not him. Richard Key is not him. Home from work. Fair enough. Welcome in. Welcome to getting to watch this team ruin my life. What team am I talking about? That's the big question. My favorite hockey team? This baseball team? My favorite baseball team? Oh, what are we going to do? How do we want to handle scouting this year? Last year was a little bit wonky. After catcher, we just have a bunch of general needs. After catcher, Ryan Hammer is a great name. I think we have to try to find a great catcher if there is one. So let's look more at Ken Snell, William Rowe, and yeah, Richard Key is not him. Let's look at Andreas Ojeda. Andreas Ojeda. Pirates suffer an injury. It's not ideal. Remember when I mentioned a team ruining my life? Well, starting shortstop, I guess, is going to be Marco Calderon. At least for a little bit. Congratulations, Marco. It wasn't by choice. Do we think we see Swayman in the series? No. Unless there's a situation where Allmark gets lit up and pulled for Swayman and Swayman shuts the door. Basically the Oilers goaltending situation. Unless that's duplicated, I would lean towards no. All right, Ojeda. Doesn't like him as much because his attribute's going to be low. Right now, Clausen or Snell are looking like really the only guys worth going after. There is Ryan Hammer. There is Hitoki Sato. I guess a baseball jersey's on that wall. Apparently, there wasn't ye old wedding to pay for this year. Who knows? Maybe we would start up a baseball jersey collection. That'd be pretty fun. That'd be pretty fun. I think I'm spending way too much time trying to scout out catchers, but it is what it is. It is our biggest position of need. So. All right, yeah, it absolutely hates Sato. All right, this should be the last week that we look at catchers. Louis Fedor. Louis Fedor. There's Martin Lopez. I don't really know why it hates him so much, but his potential range still looks okay. And then let's get accurate info on Hitoki Sato. I think we can avoid Ryan Hammer. Let's look at Sato some more. Oh, this is going to be a rough draft. This is going to be a lot of best guessing. This is what happens when you try to scout for one specific position. Lopez and Sato are both near guarantees to be a B potential, which is nice. However, their draft rank is low, meaning that their overalls, at least their starting overalls, are going to be pretty bad. Who else do we have? Can avoid Ryan Hammer. We got Lopez. We got Sato. Oops. Well, I guess we'll just go back. 70 to 91 for Ojeda. It's not bad. We could look at him more. Richard Key. Let's look more at Clausen and Snell to round this out. This is our last week looking at catchers. And then we'll try our best over the remaining 2 months to just try and find anybody else. By the way, we're in free fall in terms of our records. That's great. Okay, we'll be able to get a catcher this year. I don't know if it's going to be anybody who's worthy of a first-round pick. Clausen might be that only guy. But this is a decent year for catchers. Good to know. Okay, next up. I mean, closer, reliever. If we look at position player next, depth outfield, depth second, depth third. Let's look at who's projected to go early in this draft to see if anyone falls to us. We're not going to scout relievers because at 51, I doubt anyone's really available that would actually be worth it. And it's not a huge need. Chris Chavez. Let's look at you. We'll look at Robbie Cox. And the Kraken just scored again. Let's fucking go. Thomas Gee. So we got second, third, and left. Second, third, and left. Give me somebody. Give me somebody. Do you keep up with the NBA? Just a little bit, yeah. I mean, the problem with the NBA is that, oh, hey, it's playoff time. Yeah, but hockey playoffs are on. That's always my big issue. So the answer is yes. We did talk about Trae Young shivering yesterday and how cringe that was. All right, we don't need Robinson Marshall. Let's look at Warren Ransom. Another guy coming up named Greg Beckman. LeBron, Curry, Giannis. Here's your championship. That's not true. I mean, the Raptors won 4 years ago. How quickly people forget. All right, 3 right fielders. Ransom, Beckman, and McCann. Shout out to Rick McCann. That's the name of the guy that you get the oil change from. Rick McCann. Works at fucking Jiffy Lube. All right, who else do we have? Who else do we have? Eric Morey. Decent song. Decent cover. Don't want it at the moment. Do not want it at the moment. Listen to some damn Prince. That's what I'm going to do. So Eric Morey. Don't you love how all of a sudden Japanese players are showing up? Just to remind us of our failed attempt at a Japan-only run. Okay, catcher, what's going on, buddy? Week 9 of 14. Maybe get a little bit of generalized scouting. I think we'll get some generalized scouting in there. Had a rough few last days at work, so I'm having a few drinks. Don't go overboard. If I say stupid shit, that's why. Well, thank you for the heads up at least. Appreciate the heads up at least. So again, second and third for the moment. Let's go with outfield. So we'll go left field west, left field central. I did actually forget to change it over to right fielders last week. Damn. Remember the drummer monkey Pokemon? It's been late to becoming a wild Scarlet Raid. If you want to try, I could try. I have not thought about or played a Pokemon game since the new game came out and was a tragedy. I still can't believe how bad a shape that game was in from a technical standpoint. Astonishing. Astonishingly shit in terms of performance. It's crazy. And I gotta be honest, the whole, like, open world part of it and stuff like that really doesn't do it for me, Pokemon-wise. I just... Call me old-fashioned. There was nothing wrong with what Pokemon video games were for 20 years. There was nothing wrong with it. That's a formula you didn't need to change, at least for me. Right field west, right field central. Achilles, what's going on? How are you tonight? All right. So we're going to have really kind of 2 weeks left. Oh, no. Somebody else got hurt? Who else got hurt? Okay, we're missing 2 outfielders. Well, actually, really Rivas, but yeah, Hinayosa in AAA. To me, oh, it was the direction that it was always heading. I just don't like the execution of it at all. Just the way it plays, I just don't like it. And I don't think it's on hardware that can handle the idea. All right, so we need right field international. Clear up these other 2 spots. Now, in terms of team rank, it really likes Thomas G. Let's look at him. Thomas G? Thomas G. How frequent spam calls do I get? Never. We'll also look at Rick McCann. We'll look at Rick McCann. Another injury to our main lineup. Who is it this time? Liz Calderon's not the starter anymore, but my God, since your franchise, Pirates. I did see the, was he 33? Finally gets a chance at the majors. That was pretty cool. Ooh, okay. There's a couple of decent outfielders here. We have 1 more week to try and figure out who we want our pick to be at 15. We could look more at Robbie Cox, but to be honest, he's not, like, third base isn't a huge position of need. It's just we have no insurance if Gutierrez leaves. Same thing with Chris Chavez. Warren Ransom. Boone Smooth. What a name. Boone Smooth. There's another fielder, Sebastian Medeiros. Okay. I think these top options that we don't have 100% scouted. Let's look more at Robbie Cox. Who else do we got? Vince Clausen is 100% scouted. Let's look at more at Chris Chavez at second base. And Warren Ransom in right. So second, third, and right field. These will be our final few players to look at. Again, it's the 15th pick of the draft, so it's not likely that we get a top player, but you never know. You never know. And we'll save right now. Learned my lesson from last night. Let's go ahead and save. Let's not have a crazy repeat of that ridiculousness. Showtime, what's up? We sail on the 7 seas to Bucktober. I mean, not looking like it. 6 games under 500 before the draft is pretty rough. All right. Here we go. The 2035 drafts. We have yet to make the playoffs. Justin Braun retired. How am I finding out 2 days later? I'm finding out right now because you found out. So there you go. Bless that mailman. Colorado with the #1 pick, then Houston and Tampa. So clearly the balance of power has shifted. 12 years later. What's up, Davis? First overall pick goes to the Colorado Rockies. And they select starting pitcher Jim Shepard. We'll see if they blew it. It's Colorado. They typically do. With the second overall pick. What happened in the main college basketball series? We had to wave the white flag on it because the idea just didn't work. We couldn't make any progress in that whatsoever. Rolando Guzman goes to the Astros, second overall. And third overall, the Tampa Bay. Well, in 2035, they might be the Montreal Expos. The Tampa Bay Rays select another starting pitcher, Carmen Murillo, who was projected 72nd and goes third overall. Someone in the top 3 is going to go for a ridiculous reach, and thank you for Tampa, or thank you to Tampa for being the ones. Sure do, Top Hat. We sure do. The Mets at 4 take starting pitcher Sean Armbar. At 5, San Diego takes starting pitcher Joe Mora. It has been all starting pitchers so far, which bodes well for us in terms of position players. Why do I talk? I know inherently I'm supposed to talk. It's a stream. But son of a... Stop! Fucking stop it! I don't even want him, but stop it! Anyway, yeah, Thomas Gee is off the board. From a hitting perspective, he looked pretty good. Baltimore goes off the board to take left fielder Eric Morey. And the Yankees at 8 take starting pitcher Alexander Jones. While the Reds take Johnny Whitey. Don't tell me it's witty. It might be. Jeff Leslie. Oh my God, the starting pitchers again. So many starting pitchers. Texas takes starting pitcher Ezra Zapata. Maybe Jeff Leslie will be better than Ezra. That was a band, everybody. Robbie Cox, at third baseman, goes 12th overall to the St. Louis Cardinals. Mark St-Eude, starting pitcher, goes to the Angels. And the last pick before ours belongs to the Nationals as they select starting pitcher Willie Batista. That leaves us with a buttload of options. We're not going to take a reliever here, obviously. So that leaves us with Rick McCann, Vince Clausen, Ken Snell, who might be available later, Warren Ransom. We didn't get to look at Will Burkhardt all that much. It's probably one of these 4. Outfield and catcher are both big needs. Rick McCann does look pretty good.
Here comes a pizza. See it?
Aiden, thank you. 56. Some of you guys, man, but these 50+ month resubs are insane. Aiden, thank you. Appreciate the hell out of you. How the hell are you? I hope you're doing well. Do we take the Australian with a mullet, Rick McCann? He grew up as a laser beam fan. He looks interesting. There's catcher Vince Clausen. You could argue catcher is a bigger need than outfield. They're pretty close. 76 to 91, 78 to 93. Ken Snell at catcher is 76 to 91. He is net. Oh my God. Yeah, so I think we can rule out Ken Snell, at least from what our scouts are telling us, because he's not elite at anything. So we can just go ahead and get rid of you. And then there's right fielder Warren Ransom. However, no shot of being an A potential, but let's compare him to Rick McCann. I mean, they both have the same strengths in terms of the ability at the plate. They both have speed, but Ransom might be the better fielder. McCann, 87, 93 at the top. McCann projected to be But hitting-wise, they're about even. But the fact that, yeah, Ransom's a rough one. I'm just looking at those fielding stats. They're both 18. Obviously, the potential for McCann's a little bit better. But then there's the catcher, Vince Clausen. His fielding isn't great. Man, he is such a boom or bust player, isn't he? Looking at those future ranges, the arm strength being... I don't think we're going to go for Vince Clausen here. I don't like the attributes. I don't like those attributes at all. Just looking at Warren Ransom here. I agree. I think we have to hope for Ransom or Clausen in round 2. We're going to play it safe. We're going to go for the right fielder, Rick McCann, with this first pick. Ricky McCann proves to be our guy. Our scouts say he's the 5th best player in the draft that they know of. We'll take him at 15. Say hello to the Aussie, Rick McCann. Fingers crossed he's a little bit better than advertised. We'll go through the rest of the first round, as we do. As we do. Milwaukee goes way off the board. Way off the board with Adrian Acevedo. Random afterthought, did better than Ezra. I couldn't name a single better than Ezra song. They were just one of those bands that I knew of, but I don't think I know any of their songs. They have 800,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Good for them. Good is easily their most popular song. So Good has 73 million listens, and Desperately Wanting has 26.5 million. So yeah, clearly they could kind of drift towards that one-hit wonder. You definitely know the song. Good. I'm going to put it on. I need to hear this. Oh, Ken Snell does go in the first round. As does Vince Clausen and Warren Ransom. Okay, well, we're SOL in terms of our next pick. We are SOL. I don't recognize this song at all. Maybe I recognize the chorus. Okay, well, a bunch of players we were hoping would fall to round 2 are not going to fall to round 2. Not at all. Harmon Waldron. That's a great name. Harmon Waldron. Yeah, this is just... I gotta be honest. My Anthony fan... let's see. Oh, God. Not a critic to Tano here. Better than Ezra. Not for me. I don't recognize their biggest hit at all. And the music in general, not for me. That's my review of Better Than Ezra. Goya was a one-hit wonder for sure. But that the person behind that project intentionally was just like, here's a great song. I don't care to make this type of music anymore. I'm leaving. Like the balls. You have one of the biggest hits of the 2010s. And that's your only album that you put out. And then you're just like, hey, thanks for the cheese. And I'm going to go make the music I want to make. All right. Let's go ahead and sim up to round 2. They're better than Ezra. How shit's Ezra, right? All right. Pick number 51. Are we... Oh, Boone Smooth. I don't even care about Anthony Sawyer. Boone Smooth might be the pick. There's Will Burkhart. Medeiros. Oh, Boone Smooth. Just for the all-name team. Ted Booth. Is there anybody else with a crazy potential? There's closer Eduardo Arellano. We don't know a ton about him. And Boone Smooth. Okay, there is a closer, Barney Kincaid, that our scouts apparently fucking love. Brain smooth. No, that's the people who watch Fox News. Malcolm Merced? Honestly, I mean, hey, we're kind of... Oh, boy. Wasn't there another player there? It was Merced. We might have to go for Boone Smooth just off of the name, but Sato's there. Really like the looks of Vincent Law. Schartner. Guy Schartner. Maybe he's French. Maybe it's Guy Schartner. Jason Nixon later on, son of Trot. And a couple of those center fielders later on. I mean, hey, we could use a reliever. And with a name like that, we don't know a ton about Will Burkhart. He'd be kind of best guess. We don't know a ton about Medeiros either. And then there's Kincaid, who might be better, but at the same time, Boone Smooth. I mean, there's no denying Kincaid's probably the better pick. But with a name like Boone Smooth, you know? I mean, they're both barely scouted. We are basically in that best guess territory already. Sato as a catcher. I really don't want someone else to take him, but we have pick 74. Oh, boy. I don't know if we're in a position to be able to meme pick right now. That's the issue. Not that Boone looks bad. Yeah, in terms of the relievers that we know about. I mean, granted, we don't know much about Barney Kincaid, but... Ooh, we gotta do it. We gotta do it. We're gonna take the one reliever that we're probably gonna look to take in this draft, and it is going to be Boone Smooth. Come on down, Boone. Making all the moves. It's been 84 years of this franchise mode. Will you ever be in a position to meme pick? Fair. Okay, good. The catcher's still available. Let's go for Hiroki Sato. Hiroki Sato is the pick. Welcome aboard, Hiroki. And, all right, round 3. Let's look at all ranks here. There's 65 to 99. Vincent Law. Schartner. A lot of 65 to 99s. There's Brandon Hook. Send Hook. Fodor. Martin Lopez. Okay. Well, we could certainly triple down on catchers. Ooh, Richard Fried. Old Dick Friedman. A lot of people call him JF. Paul Diaz. We do have quite a few players to risk here. Send Hook, do the all meme draft. Ryan Hammer's still out there. Anybody else? Anybody else that we can be overly confident in? Giancarlo Ordonez, son of Magli. Oh, hello, Kevin Mendoza. We don't know a fucking thing about you, but it might be worth the risk later on. Rico Vargas. Sammy Voss at first base. Okay. Well. Well. I think Hook gets the bump up, right? Yeah, so get Nixon out of there. Monroe, Schartner, Ramiro, Hagen, Fodor can stay, Lopez can stay, get Montero out of there, Friedman stays, Diaz stays, Nieto, Hammer we can take out, Wright we can take out, Farley, I mean, those guys aren't bad, but kind of going like 70 minimum in terms of a potential that we know of, at least to start. There we go. Okay. Well, off of rank and who's projected to go next. We really don't need another closer. There's Hook in center field. This is pick number 89. We don't have another one till 119. A lot of these guys were not projected to be drafted. So from Diaz up. 75, 94, 84, 95. I mean, off of potential that we're aware of, allegedly. Get a Matthews jersey up instead of the Stamkos. I will switch the wall for tomorrow. We won't do it for today. We're going to go for Richard Friedman in center field. Hoping for the best. And maybe getting the worst. Richard Friedman, welcome aboard. We will not be sending Hook. I almost got the AEW double. So that leaves us likely with a couple of catchers. It does. Need outfielders who can hit. I just need outfielders in general, though, in case our guys leave. That's the issue. Right now, we're looking for future depth. Which is exactly why we're going to go for Fodor at catcher. Because I do need to double up my chances of getting a half-decent catcher. So let's go for Fodor. That shortstop Mendoza is still there. We don't know much about him. We do know that Martin Lopez has a very good chance of being a B potential guy. Who's projected to go next? We're going to go for Lopez. We're going to double up. We're going to triple up on catchers to hope that we get our future option. And then round 6, it comes down to the first baseman and the right fielder, and we are in need of an outfielder more so. So we are going to go for Rico Vargas. So 3 outfielders, 3 catchers, and a reliever added in this draft. It's just a matter of whether or not they're actually decent. Please, God, be actually decent.